It is the month of June, so happy June on the range, everybody. Many of you know Margaret Pinard from right here on BookTube. She's an author of historical fiction and fantasy. She is an eclectic reader, and she is a shocking consumer of tea. And it's just possible that she wrote a Western and didn't even know it. I've got a review today of Margaret's book, The Grasping Root. Hello, my fellow readers. My name is Greg. This is Ghost Readers in the Sky. The Grasping Root is the second book in Margaret Pinard's historical fiction trilogy called The Remnants. And this middle book, it follows the lives of the McLean family as they are getting settled in Nova Scotia in the 1820s. And I think that you can call this series, but I think you can call this an historical family saga. But this book, The Grasping Root, stretches a little bit further than the first book, The Keening, and really becomes more of a frontier novel or a pioneer novel, looking at the first immigrants to come to an area. And so it comes with all of those ideas and issues around immigration and colonialism and lawlessness and survival and nature. And even though it does not take place in the American West, what is a Western but an historical fiction novel set on the frontier or set amongst pioneer people and families? A Western just happens to be set in the American West. You could have the same themes in Nova Scotia. Much of the plot here is anchored around the organization of the family farm as they're building out places to have animals and grow grain and vegetables, to build orchards, to have a woodlot, all of those things that you want to have in a homestead, working toward 5 acres and independence, as it were. And it's finding ways to work with nature to increase what nature already does well, but in a way that's much more effective and more secure than foraging would be. And this is a plot structure that I absolutely love. It has always resonated with me. There are so many Westerns that are built around this. I think about Shane right offhand. I think about My Antonia by Willa Cather. I also think about Growth of the Soil by Knut Hamsun. A lot of different pioneer, frontier Western narratives are based on this as the kind of the core of we're building the structures that we need to survive here in this new landscape. The first book in the series, The Keening, really focused on the whole family unit, the McLean family, and we saw them grow together as a family. We saw those bonds develop. We saw them really moving together to confront all of the things that happened to them over the course of that novel. And in this second book, we start to see a lot more of the individual family members growing on their own. The family structure is still very important to all of them, but now we start watching the two older siblings have love interests, and the younger siblings are growing, just crossing into their teenage years, and are developing their skills for practical living and agriculture and homesteading, just learning all of those things that they need to learn, a little bit of academic learning as well. So we're just seeing all of them grow in their own ways. We're watching their mother grow as she's aging and her health is changing, and how the rest of the family rallies around. I really like that emphasis of the way that it changes from being focused on the family, almost an ensemble cast, to really starting to focus on the individuals and letting us see them even more. We saw Neil, the oldest son, we saw some of his growth and some of his coming of age in the Keening, but we're really seeing a lot more of his growth. We're seeing his sister's growth as she's turning into a young woman. It's really very well done. These are very interesting characters, and it's a very interesting ensemble when it all comes together. Now, I talked about in the Keening, when I reviewed that, of how that book just devastated me. It seemed like at the end of every chapter, it was just a kick in the lower stomach. And it just happened over and over. I said in my review, this is the old hee-haw trope. If it weren't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. And yet to watch that family's perseverance and the way they drew together and drew strength from each other in order to not just survive, but finding ways to flourish in the best way they could given the circumstances, was really great. Now, this book, The Grasping Root, has a lot more relief in it. There are still bad things that happened, but I don't feel like I'm getting kicked around every chapter. Although I got to tell you, I really don't mind getting kicked around a little bit. We see some new characters in The Grasping Root, although the McLean family is still, they're still at the core of the novel, the core of the plot, and they are wonderful characters. But we're introduced to some new characters. I have an affinity for Jemima, and I am hoping she turns up in the third book. I don't know if she will, and I ask Margaret Pinard not to tell me whether she does or not, because I want to be surprised. And if you know, don't tell me. None of you. Spoiler free for the third book. I think that this book, The Grasping Root, will make a lot more sense if you've read the Keening first. I think that's the right way to do it. Read the Keening and then read The Grasping Root. Now, Grasping Root goes back and it picks up the pieces of the Keening that you need to know about, but I think it's much more interesting to read them straight off the page. So go and read the Keening first if you haven't, and then jump straight into this one, The Grasping Root. And I know you'll enjoy it. If you like historical fiction, if you like the pioneer and frontier adventures, if you like some good mystery, if you like to watch strong character development, and if you enjoy good writing, those are all reasons that you would love The Grasping Root. I did go through my library to get this book. I borrowed the digital trilogy from my library through Hoopla, which is a really nice platform to read on. And like I said, I am ready to get to the third book, although I haven't yet. But when I do, I'll let you know all about it right here on this channel. So thanks, everybody. I hope you are interested, intrigued, and want to take a look at the Grasping Root and the caning and anything else. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this review. And I got lots more coming up, especially throughout June on the range. I got lots of plans for reviews of books and stories. Of course, a lot of poetry. There may or may not be chaps involved. Till next time, my name is Greg, and this is Ghost Readers in the Sky. Yippee-yi-yi, yippee-yi-yi.